you should go follow the other. You may have noticed that we have been MIA for a couple of weeks. Things have been a little crazy around here, and I'm sure Mom will fill you in on the next video we post with antiques, but I thought I'd just give you a little heads up. My brother ended up in the hospital a couple weeks ago in ICU. It was just a rough week. My parents were there with him, and then they were all stuck there during the hurricane when Helene came through. Thank God that was not as bad for our town as it is for all around us, though. There's devastation everywhere in Georgia and North Carolina and Tennessee, and so it has just been a lot going on. Adam is back home, thank you, Jesus, and we are now getting back into the swing of things. However, we will be leaving for California. Maybe we'll do some content while we're out there next week for my other brother's wedding. So lots going on around here with Emmeline and friends. So I thought I'd go ahead and put up another one of Uncle Jimmy and Aunt Pat's letters. So I'm gonna get you some of those because I know y'all probably miss them as much as I miss reading them. I feel like I have not had a visit with them for a while, so let's get started.
June 12th, 1942. Dear Jimmy, I know exactly how you felt when you didn't get my letter because yours too was late. My fault. But today I had one from home and yours, so my day hasn't been so bad. Except it has rained, thundered and lightninged most of the day. You would have laughed at Louise the maid. She turned off the lights and sat in a dark corner, said she was doing just what Mrs. Chance told her to. She's rather comical sometimes. Well dear, I think all of the emergencies tried to come to Norwood last night. Everything got so busy that I was unable to finish your letter last night. Sorry, but I'll bet you get this Monday. I'm sure your mother enjoyed her visit with you. However, I don't blame you for not letting her ride the roller coaster. I won't ever get near one. One of my girlfriends got on one with a new hat on her head, and when she started to get out, it was under her feet. I'm afraid I'd be standing on my head, huh? I'm afraid your mother is even with me now. I was in Palm Beach and saw it in the daytime, and then we came up the coast and I saw it in the moonlight. A beautiful sight, I'll say. I can really admire a person who is willing to take another woman's child and bring it up as her own, because she may face the danger of always being reminded of the things the child's mother did. This would be my hardest problem. She must be a real girl. So often too, stepchildren get the worst end of things.
This part was in response to my grandmother, Emma's mother, adopting the baby when she married my granddaddy. He had a 6-month-old baby because his wife died in childbirth. That was in the last letter.
I'm afraid that our plans can't be completed. It just wasn't meant to be. The extra operator's husband begins a 3-week vacation this week. The senior operator gets 15 days the 1st of July, and the other operator's husband also gets his vacation. This making her quit if she doesn't get a week then. So, you see, it is quite a tangle. My time will be uncertain. I'm awfully sorry, but so goes life. By the way, we have a man down home that has been married 5 times in a short time, and the last one passed away last week. They kidded me and said that I could stop work and come home for a chance. I told them I would come nearer running the other way. I must go now. Love, Pat.
June 13th, 1942. Dearest Pat, I didn't mean to make you feel so little by not answering my letter when I expected you to. I sent my letter by airmail so you would get it on Monday. As you said a little while back that they made your week start off right, so I want to keep them that way. Your letter means the same to me, and maybe more, but I figured you had a good excuse for not writing back so quick. Of course I will forgive you. What kind of a fellow would I be if I didn't forgive you for something like that? But don't let it happen too much, darling. Just think, in about 4 more weeks, if nothing happens, we will be able to have a few hours together. I say hours, for I know now that, regardless of how long we do see each other, they will seem that way. I will just have a few days in all, and I would like to see all of my friends. It sure would be nice if you had a vacation coming up and could spend it with me. I do believe we would have some swell time together. You are right when you say it isn't half as important what my mother thinks of you as it is me. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed a bit, but it might do for me to say what I think in a letter. I had much rather tell it to you, or you probably know it by now. I guess you will think I'm a funny creature now, won't you? I will say this much, though, that I want my parents to love the girl that I go with, and so far I have never been with one yet that they did not like. They have always liked my friends, for they know that they are clean Christian people. I know they will be foolish about you. My mother is sweet and has lots of friends, but she's not as lively as she has been in bad health for 20-some-odd years. She has heart trouble. That was why it was such a surprise for me when she came down. Sure hope it will do her good, and I believe it will. I know she had a good time at least. Yes, I miss her a lot, but not as much as one who had never been away from home. I stayed away one time for 3.5 years without going home. No, it wasn't because I didn't want to go, for I was 12,000 miles away, as you know. I stayed in China nearly 3 years. I have had 2 Christmases at home in 6 years' time. I guess you can see by this that I have been away long enough for it not to worry me too much. I admit that I miss them in some way every day, but it can't be helped. That is what a mother and father, mostly mothers, has to put up with when they have children, and that is their crying in the night. But don't you think they are worth it? Happiness into the home, and have kept many a home from going on the rocks or being busted up. I bet you would make a nice-looking mother. I can see you now walking around with one in your arms around 2 in the morning. It's lots of fun, isn't it? Sometimes it doesn't seem like fun, and that they are worth the trouble, but they are. I know you would love it now, wouldn't you? Say, do you know how to write stories or a book? I've been writing one now for several years, and I can't seem to get it together. I sure hope you know something about them. I will bring it up when I come and let you read what I've got. I know what I want to put in it, but the how is another thing. If you know anything about writing one, I'm afraid you have a job on your hand. Tell Evelyn that I said hello and that I send my love. Lots of love, Jenny.
June 16th, 1942. Dear Jimmy, I didn't get your letter in the morning mail, and so I slept until 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I fooled around a bit and finally saw your letter on my chest. I thought Evelyn was playing tricks on me, so I was even more a pleasant surprise. You were sweet to understand my negligence in answering your letters. Tonight, a potential bombing was scheduled and nothing happened, but we had lots of fun. Miss Chance prepared the house in case of an evacuation, and then we had an electrical storm, a light one. I came to work early, but I was a little wet. There was a regular downpour for a while. Gee, we have certainly been busy for the past few days. There seems to be accidents galore. We had one girl from Indianapolis to expire the other night. That was in an accident with 2 others who were killed. They obviously went to sleep and drove off a bridge. Everyone seemed to watch her. The specialist said she was better the night before. The thing that really touched me was a child about 2 years old. I had been here in March, and the doctor told the mother that if the child was ill at all to bring it to the hospital immediately because of a collapsed lung. It was ill 3 weeks without a doctor, and then the mother went hysterical over the child. It lived 1 day. It was a beautiful blonde curly-headed child. The realization of me walking a child at 2 in the morning doesn't sound so thrilling to me. I don't think you must have ever done that. It's really not what people think, but of course any mother would if it were necessary. I'm afraid that I wouldn't love the walking as much as I did the child. Seems strange for me, one who has traveled so much, enjoys being settled down to a typical home. I knew that you had been to China, but I didn't know how long. I imagine your mother was worried, but not as much as she would be now. I don't believe I could ever stay away from my family that long unless it was really necessary. I have missed 1 Christmas in my life, last year, but I was home 2 days later. So, you were a roving man. I'll bet you still have some of that in your system. It would be too bad if you were disappointed, but I'm warning you not to expect too much. Roy says I hope they won't blame us if they are disappointed. No, Jimmy, I don't think you're a funny creature. I don't think I'd better say what I think now. But I do think that we have known from the beginning of our friendship that we could be real friends and mean lots to each other. It isn't like most of them because I respect your ideals far more than that. After I really meet you, I'll be looking forward to meeting your parents. I haven't written stories, but I've written a bit of poetry and studied grammar lots. In fact, English was my favorite subject. Of course, bring your story up and we can ponder over it together. It must be exciting. I must go because here's it looks like it says coffee. Love, Pat.
June 16th, 1942. Dear Pat, yes, I did receive your letter Monday, and that morning too. I enjoyed it very much. It made the day roll right through without any dragging to it. Everything seemed to have started out with a bang and ended up that way too. I also got a card from my kid's sister telling me she had gotten married. Gee, but that was a surprise. She's the baby of the family, 23 years old. That leaves only one left, and that is yours truly. She and I had a little bet who would be last, so it seems as if I have won out. I don't know the boy she married, as he is from California. I do hope he is a good Christian young man like the other two are. Say, have you seen the picture Magnificent Dope with Dawn Amici and Lan Berry? I saw it last Saturday.
I wouldn't say that. There's lots of... You got a headache?
Oh, beauty.
That's too bad. I'll fix it for you. Come over here and sit down.
Oh, wait a minute. You're not one of those people who tell me to look the other way, then twist my head off, are you?
No, it's simple. Just sit down. Now just lean back and relax. That's fine. I'm just going to loosen up the neck muscles. I just close your eyes and imagine your head's the second hand on a watch and just let it go round and round slowly.
Like this?
That's it. Just keep it going around.
Seems awfully silly. Are you sure it works?
This is what an aspirin does when it's got a headache. Keep it going around. Now, the next thing is to imagine a nice, quiet lake with soft blue sky.
You mind a few ducks flying around?
Not if they're not flying too fast.
Okay. Take it easy, ducks.
And really enjoyed it. I think you would enjoy it too. So, see it if you have the chance. So, you've seen the ocean and been close to it on a night when there was a pretty moon. It is a beautiful scenery, I think, don't you? Say, did it make you feel a little romantic? I wonder if we will ever see it together like that. I hope so. About the prettiest I have ever seen it was in the Hawaiian Islands. I saw it coming up over the palms. That is one picture I don't believe any artist can do justice with. If you could see it, I know you would agree with me. Darling, do you have any days off at all? If you do you know what days they will be, say, 2 weeks ahead of time? If I do get to come up, I would like to arrange it so you will be off and we can be together. We have a lots to talk about, and it will take some time. I imagine by the other operators taking their vacation pretty soon. Does that put you where you will be needed quite a bit more than at present? But this may be my only chance to see you for quite some time. I believe I will get my leave around the 5th or 6th of July. I'm still not sure of it, but so far the rest of the fellows have gotten theirs. So, if nothing happens between now and then, maybe I will get mine. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Say, when do you get your vacation, or will you get one this year at all? It would be nice if you did get one a little later on and you and Evelyn could come down here for a few days. We've had our fair share of rain for the past 2 weeks. It looks as if it will be raining again pretty soon. That is one thing that doesn't bother me until I have to get out in it. I like to be home on rainy days and go to bed and listen to it being on the rooftop until it sings me to sleep. Do you like to sleep in on rainy days? I believe the rest does more good than on any other kind of day. I have your picture now where it greets me first thing in the morning and last thing before going to bed as it sits sitting on the shelf of my locker. That gives me an inspiration for the day and pleasant dreams for the night. I did dream about you the other night. I don't know why something like this, but we made a trip together to Cuba, and by ship. And at midnight there was a really pretty moon, and we went out on the deck and started dancing together. It was really nice. Too bad dreams don't just come true. Well, is all the news I have? I will say bye-bye. Lots of love, Jimmy. June 19th, 1942. Dearest Pat, how's my little hello girl getting along at this time? Fine, I hope. I got your letter yesterday, and so it made another day perfect. I enjoyed it very much. So, you all are having practice bombing raids up there? Well, that is a good practice, I think, for it teaches you what to do in case there ever comes a real one, which I hope there won't. I hope you don't catch a cold from getting wet the other day. I hope you will take good care of yourself, if not for no one but me. I've had a cold for 2 or 3 weeks, and they are bad company during summertime at the most. I hate them any time, but especially in the summer when it's so hot. I guess you see quite a few sad cases up there at the hospital. I think that is why I always wanted to be a doctor, and that is so you can help those that are in bad shape or sick or hurt in an accident. It gives you a feeling, I imagine, when you restore life or health to one that you are accomplishing something that is worthwhile. I bet that is the same reason you wanted to be a nurse too, isn't it? I don't think it would be so thrilling either to walk a baby at 2 in the morning, but I don't think you are the type that would grumble about it in case you have to. I have been up once or twice at night with a baby, but I admit I did not walk it. I tell you about one that we all have to walk quite a bit until he finally died. It was a pretty sad case itself. So, you think it's strange for one who has traveled around as much as I have to want to settle down? Well, you know, there's a time for everything. I admit it was a lot of fun at that time, but I'm afraid that I've had my share of it, unless there was someone to enjoy it with me. Someday I will show you my album. It has around 2 or 3 pictures of places I have been in it.
2 or 3,000. Sorry. Should have known that.
I still get a kick out of looking at it. That was one of my hobbies while I was in the Navy before. It is a rather expensive one, but I would have thrown the money away on something else. And with this, I have something I can look back on as I grow older and still enjoy it. I'm sorry to hear that Evelyn is going to leave before I come up. I do wish she could wait a while, but she knows what's best. We can still have a good time, though. I wonder how we will meet each other with her gone. Well, we should know each other by now, shouldn't we? Well, as this is about all the news, I will say so long. Lots of love, Jenny.
So those were some sweet letters, right? I just love reading through them and hearing their voices. Sorry about that bird. It will not stop. I even covered it, but we're just going to leave that in the video. No spoilers, but I will say their meeting comes soon. So it won't be much longer, and we will get to that. I tried something new this time. Let me know what you thought. I'm sure you noticed, but I used different voices for Pat and Jimmy, and I'm not sure what I think. It definitely needs tweaking, but let me know what you thought, or if you would just prefer to have my voice reading both letters. Anyway, hope y'all have a wonderful week, and we will be back soon with the next installment.
Forevermore.